Hello po, Dr. Caster. Let me introduce myself po, though we met years ago, a year after I graduate from UC po. I'm Virgo
Mm-hmm.
Lopez, a man student from UPOU po. And this time I was tasked po to interview a nurse leader manager. And I personally pick you po because I really look up to you as an academician and as a researcher po, with qualitative research as your expertise. And Dr. Caster, kumusta po kayo?
I'm okay naman. Tawag dito, I'm retired. I think you know that I'm retired, but
Mhm.
I guess that's just in paper. That
Mhm.
I'm retired, but I still continue to, do the things that I love doing, particularly research
Mhm.
and a lot more. Giving talks on about research, trainings on research. So I'm still
Mhm.
very much active with the Cordillera Region Health Research and Development Consortium. So that is what is keeping me busy actually these
Mhm.
days.
How do you juggle po being, of course, you are a clinician before and then you're an academician and researcher. How did you manage all of these responsibilities at the same time po?
Mm, I guess you'll just have to find time to do this primarily because one, it's the right thing to do, right? It's how an academician should be. An
Mhm.
academician should do research. An academician should be extending her services to the society.
Mhm.
Um, like you have to give services. You have to provide services to the society to ensure that you're giving back to society whatever because you know that like me, I'm with a national university.
Mhm.
I get my pay from taxpayers' money.
Mhm.
So it's just but um, expected or right to give back to whoever
Mhm.
is giving you food on the table. So
You're
that's
right.
basically the people, the communities that we serve. So you have to give back to them. Parang
Yes
ganun
po.
lang yon.
Opo.
And how do you juggle? I guess as I've said, it's something that you have to do. So you really have to love what you're doing so that you don't see it as a burden, because
Mhm.
once you see research and extension work as a burden,
Right.
it's not that hindi dapat ganun ang pagtingin kung hindi ito ay mga kinakailangan para maging mahusay kang guro sa mga estudyante. Hindi naman pwedeng nagtuturo ka na hindi mo ginagawa.
Mhm.
You have to practice what you teach so that hindi naman maganda na merong faculty na nagtuturo ng ganito, ng research, pero hindi naman niya ginagawa. Hindi siya nag-research, hindi siya
Mhm.
nagpa-publish, hindi siya, these are part of the role modeling, the mentoring,
Mhm.
and meeting expectations of society and meeting expectations of a scholar. And for me, for that matter, since I am a UP scientist, it's an expectation to be a scientist in the real sense of the word,
Mhm.
and that is giving back really to
Yes
the
po.
academy and giving back to the people. Yan
Right.
lang yon.
Opo. With these accolades, Dr. Caster, what is your greatest motivation to continue doing what you're doing po, despite the fact that in papers, sabi niyo po, you're already retired, but you continuously do the things that you're doing? What is your greatest motivation po?
Um, how do I say this ba? Um, unang, well, one, gusto ko, because I love what I'm doing. That's
Mm-mm.
one. I love what I'm doing. And I'm not doing these things because I'm after promotion, I'm after
Mm-mm.
awards, I'm
Right.
after, you know, it's never really been that way with me. Yung parang
Mm-mm.
from the very moment that I entered the academy, coming from practice, I mean, I was a community health nurse. I'm still am a community health nurse when I started, and that was like 6 years. I was
Mm-mm.
immersed in the community. I was in Cagayan Valley, climbing mountains, crossing rivers, providing primary health care, community-based health services. Talagang yun yung buhay ko ng 6 na taon na
Mm-mm.
bago ako nag-masters. Parang
Mm-mm.
ganyan. Na parang um, at when I joined the community, yun pa rin yung yun pa rin yung mindset ko na it's service. It's wanting to serve the people. Yung parang
Mm-mm.
ganun yung I did not graduate in UP College of Nursing for my undergrad.
Mm-mm.
But yun yung ko, no? Yung masters ko sa UP.
Mm-mm.
And I work in UP. So yung service, yung yung na-imbibe ko talaga is really commitment. It's really service to the people.
Yeah.
So that yung ginagawa mo, hindi mo siya ini-equate sa gagawin ko ito dahil kailangan sa promotion. Gagawin ko ito dahil kailangan pang-award. No, it has
Right.
never been that way to me. That is why when these awards were coming, it just fell into place that what I was doing was something that's being recognized. Yung parang ganoon. But it has never been something that I wanted to do. And so even after retirement, nandun pa rin yung parang gusto mo pa rin gawin dahil you want to serve. Kagabi, there are undergrad students saying, "Ma'am, can you validate our tool?" Kung ako ba yung maldita na what for? I mean, bakit pa ako magpapahirap ng ganyan-ganyan? But, at the back of my mind, these are students, these are future researchers, these are, wanting to learn, wanting to, so you really have to, kahit retired ka na, talagang, andoon yung passion kasi, andoon yung passion to really be of service even to the undergrad. Dapat PhD na lang ako, dapat masters na lang. Hayaan mo na yung mga undergrad, yung mga naman ng bahala sa kanila. No, it's basically coming out from wanting to mentor, wanting to be a role model, basically, na eto talaga yung ginagawa ng mga researchers, and they wade through, inaakay nila yung mga novice researchers, mga undergrad students. Ganun. So, siya, it's so even if I'm already retired, I still attend conferences, sabi nga ganun, I retired in September, pero October, November, December, I was in the US, I was in,
you were active.
I was there attending. So, sabi gano'n, ano ba ginagawa mo dyan? Retired ka na nga. Saan mo yan gagamitin? That's lifelong learning. Yung parang gano'n na, you don't stop learning, and basically, katatapos ko nga lang na international conference ko na naman ng qualitative research. So, sabi nila, nag-attend ka pa ng mga ganyan-ganyan. Kasi unang-una, sabi ko, I teach qualitative research. I mean, they call me the queen of qualitative research, but
I must agree.
should I stop there? Of course, I will not stop there. I will need to enhance and sharpen my skills kasi there are new things, there are new developments that come out every now and then, right?
Tama
so,
po.
Ganun lang yun. I mean, lifelong learning nga eh. So, you don't stop really learning. Po. So, basically, yun naman yung aking mantra. So, retirement should not stop you from learning, from developing, from growing.
Doc Caster, one notable thing is that ang alam po ng karamihan is you are into research, and tapos syempre you write for the PGN, but then you were once PNA president, tama po, our premier organization. So given that stint in the PNA, what do you think were your leadership qualities that made you effective in leading the organization po?
Okay. I think one of the leadership qualities that I think would have been a trademark attack, no? Yung collective leadership. I tried not to decide on my own. It was difficult. Because that kind of leadership is not mainstream in PNA. To lead, not our yung collective decision making, and to be critical about things was my trademark. no? That was why um marami ang hindi comfortable sa akin kasi
Okay.
critical ako mag-isip eh.
Mm-mm.
Um, ano yung antas ng pag-iisip ay hindi yung mainstream, kumbaga
Mm-mm.
yung I don't go with the mainstream.
Of course, the greatest conflicts that you might have encountered within and outside, of course, the organization. Paano po natin inayos po itong mga to?
Yeah, it was really a challenge. It was a struggle, but as I told you earlier, it has always been a collective decision. We have the executive committee. The executive committee is composed of myself, the vice president for finance, vice president for programs and development, and the treasurer. So I had a very good team. I was with Annabel Borromeo, who was the VP for finance, and then Ma'am Canaria, who was the treasurer, and president. Then the former president Melbert Reyes, who was the PPPD. So ano naman yan, talagang decisions were always collectively done. Pinag-uusapan talaga natin. So that when we face, for example, the Board of Governors, we try to defend each other na halimbawa hindi ko lang decision. I mean, but of course, I always have to take the command responsibility yan eh. Kung whatever happened, it's my sa akin pa rin yan dahil ako yung president. But I always tell them, decisions have never been really a personal decision. There are things that I want to do personally, pero pag sinabi ng committee na mahirap yan, or sabi ng committee na it has to be decided by the entire Board of Governors, then we had to. Hindi naman namin sinasabing it was a perfect executive. No? There were many struggles, but we made sure na we did not plunder nurses' money or the membership money. We made sure that it was an upright leadership din naman.
Right po. Katulad po ng mga guro po, Dr. Caster, di ba, na parang ang mga nurse din ba, do we see na talagang hindi rin tayo ganon when it comes to growth mindset, specifically doon sa financial and entrepreneurial competencies? And ano pong estado ng mga leader natin sa nursing profession when it comes to financial and entrepreneurial competencies po on the ground?
Well, it's a skill na that they are slowly learning, no? Pero naman tayong successful entrepreneurs. Carl Balita is among them, you know. Entrepreneur naman talaga si Carl. So mas yun yung kanyang forte. Si Roger Tong-an naman, no? Entrepreneur din yan, no? But he had to set it aside nung naging USEC siya, diba? Kasi wala tayong I mean, he was appointed as USEC. Then he must as well grab the opportunity to be there in the DOH to represent the nurses if in any way he can, which he did naman. Parang ganon. So, sino ba? Marami naman tayo mga entrepreneurs, but they're not that hindi ganon katingkad yung kanilang pagiging entrepreneur. Even at the local levels, meron din naman. But it is not really a skill. Kasi parang alam mo, parang ako, nung umpisa, gusto ko rin entrepreneurial, pero parang nahirapan akong pagsamahin yung service component doon sa pagiging entrepreneur. Kasi pag maging entrepreneur ka, syempre, may bayad yan. May talaga, kasi dahil siguro likas na ako, yung parang tipong maawain, likas na service, free, parang gano'n.
Yes.
Kaya hindi talaga ako, nahirapan akong pag-combine yung dalawang aspeto na yun. So, but there are people who are good at that, and so, isa yan sa mga, siguro, that's why they're trying to say entrepreneurial, pero hindi ko alam, nahirapan akong pagsabayin yung care, pagsabayin yung service component ng nursing doon sa pagbabae. Parang ganun. I hope you understand
Yeah, I
what I
would
mean.
understand.
So,
Tama po.
oo. And I think that's also the difficulty of most of our leaders who cannot, kaya nga pati pagka nag-CPD, pag masyadong mataas yung sinisingil, at tagang umaalma ako.
Oo,
Ano naman
na
kayo?
oo
Grabe
nga.
naman. The nurses, ganito lang yung sweldo nila, ganyan yung sisingilin nyo. Kaya hindi ako maging kaya I cannot be an entrepreneur kasi nga, yung yung pagtingin ko,
Mm.
kaagad kaya nga sinuportahan ko kaagad yung no membership fee ng 2020 for the nurses.
At
Diba?
nakinabang po kami
Laking wala
doon. Salamat po.
Oo, milyon-milyon ang nawala sa PNA doon. Pero, it's one way of showing them na na we see their plight during this time of the pandemic. 400 pesos is something to be
Tama
used by
po.
the nurses.
Especially during the pandemic nga po. Dr. Castro, you mentioned several times yung advocacy na kulang pa yung mga nurse. And then, here comes policy making. At sabi niyo po, we have to learn how to lobby, how to advocate. And I think you have modeled several times and several occasions when it comes to policy making. Ano pa po kaya ang kailangan natin pong i-lobby in this time and for the years to come for the nursing profession po?
Marami. Marami tayong dapat i-advocate, marami dapat ng mga polisiya. Kasi many people are trying to make policies for us. But those who are involved are not on the policy table. Ang sinasabi ko, when we make policies for people, we have to be there because we know best for what is for us. Yung parang gano'n. Unang-una, salary. Ano yan eh? During the time of Aquino, kaya hindi naman na-approve yung ating nursing bill is because we advocated for equal entry salary both for government and private. Pipirmahan na lang ni Aquino, hindi niya mapirmahan dahil naglabi ang Philippine Hospital Association na huwag pirmahan dahil syempre private, kung tataas yung sahod ng mga nurses, liliit ang kita nila, liliit yung kanilang
income. So as leader po, Dr. Castor, as nurse leaders of these schools and so on organizations, what should we do in this present context po, given all the opportunities for everyone na mag-nursing and so on?
Well, of course, we're policing our ranks, meaning to say that yung mga gustong mag-open, kung talagang hindi qualified, hindi namin sila binibigyan ng na hindi namin sila ina-allow na mag-open. Kagaya nung isang pinuntahan namin, talagang marami siyang kulang. So, we gave them a month to work on the mga kulang. Kung hindi nila matapos yun in a month, sorry. Oo, hindi sila makakapagbukas. Ganun lang yun. I think it's also a political will on CHED. Kasi ang sinabi namin sa CHED, linif nyo yung moratorium eh. Kung linif nyo yung moratorium, kasi I think there were pressures. There were pressures from politicians who own nursing schools, who own college, So there was a pressure on Popoy, and that was during the election time. Kaya sige, ang sabi namin, okay, inopen nyo ang schools, pero we will be very strict in giving the go signal if they can open or not. Kung all or none, kahit isa lang ang wala sila, hindi magbubukas hanggang sa ma-comply nila. And that's what we are doing now.
Buti wala po kayong mga kaaway.
I'm sure marami kaming makakaaway yan. But yan, talagang one for all for one ang mga technical panel at saka technical evaluator na we have to be strict about it.
So kung may mga suggestions po kayo, Dr. Castro, and the board would listen to you right now, what are these specific at talagang importante kailangan gawin po?
They lead. They should lead. They should look at what is the situation of the nursing profession and lead. I would suggest that they come up with a summit. This is the time to sit down and discuss and lead where nursing is going.
Mm.
Yung hindi lang ang role nila is to prepare exam questions for the board exams.
And that's
No.
right.
Oo, of course they're leading now the nursing law, etc. Pero hindi, kailangan pa rin ng push, push. Marami pa rin yung kailangan gawin. Parang ganyan. So, um, the thing is they need to lead the discussions of what we have to do at this
Mm.
time that the nursing profession is facing this struggles, these challenges
Mm.
na sinasabi nila na nursing shortage. Kaya sabi ko, hindi nursing shortage ang problema natin, retention. Hindi natin nare-retain yung mga nurses, and we have enough nurses. The problem is we are not able to retain these nurses to stay
Oo.
because ang bababa mo ng sweldo.
Opo.
Pangalawa, ang kanilang working environment.
Tama.
Hindi naman ganun ka-positive yung kanilang working environment. Ngayon, ang kalaban mo, recruitment. Hindi na lang nurse ang recruit ngayon.
Pati
Buong
faculty.
pamilya ng nurse.
Yeah.
Kasama ng pag-alis.
Yes.
Who can resist all of
Yeah,
this?
yeah. Right
But you
po.
see, we have the ethical recruitment ng WHO. We have the ethical recruitment policy ng ICN. Is it being put in place? No. Yun dapat ang i-enforce natin.
Mm.
WHO ethical recruitment policy. Wala. Violated lahat yun.
Mm.
So, yun yung they should lead it.
Yes po. So, Dr. Caster, in all aspects and organizations of nursing this time, being, of course, you have experience, you have the wisdom of all of these experiences, paano po ba mag-lead dapat ang nurse this time? In all aspeto po, be it in the nursing education, sa hospital, or sa mga organisasyon po natin?
Ano yan ang tingin ko at this time, collective leadership is very important. Collaborating with each other. Yung tipong meron kang steering committee from ADPCN, from PNA, from led by the BON.
Right.
Yung mga nursing organizations, dapat may steering committee na nag-iisip na na kung merong issue statement kaagad, na may unified statement kaagad na the public, the administration, everything feels our presence. Andito yung mga nurses. Ayaw naman, eto yung mga gusto ng mga nurses. Kasi talagang dapat mong I think we need to ma-imprint doon sa mga sa lahat na hindi pwedeng meron kang healthcare system na walang nurse. Hindi pwede yan. Pwede kang pang walang doktor Kasi ang nurse kaya niya alagaan yung mga pasyente mo. Pero hindi ka pwedeng walang nurse sa isang ospital, no? Or sa isang healthcare delivery. And nurse is always needed. Kaya nga ang sinasabi ko, importante yung ganong thinking. So yung kung meron kang collaborative effort among the nurses, andyan yung ADPCN, andyan yung PNA, andyan kung ano-anong mga kung talaga lang sana yung unity ma-feel mo, mo kaagad, at yung meron kang trusted na policy arm or advocacy ang tawag dito, lobby, advocacy and lobby group na tinatrust mo, ganyan na hindi masyadong bureaucratic, na pag meron tayong halimbawa problema ay meron na tayong statement kaagad, no? Maganda yun yung ganyan sa Amerika ganyan sa ibang bansa.
Proactive.
Oo, proactive. Hindi yung
saka na kapag nandiyan na
statement. Isang buwan
tapos
na wala pa yung statement.
Yes po.
Panis na. Wala na yung issue, died down na. Kaya yun yung sana maganda, yung yung proactive talaga, tapos nag-uusap-usap, crab mentality, walang kung meron mang personal, you know, differences,
Can be
set
set
aside mo
aside.
yun.
Plus,
Oo, kasi
evidence-based decision-making,
oo,
Dr. Caster. Research, tama po?
exactly. Research, evidence-based. Kaya nga pagka sinasabi ko palagi, ito yung mga yung mga evidences, ito yung mga
Anong gagawin
si Lynn
natin? Ganyan.
Lorenzo, yan ang ni Lynn
Mm-mm.
Dr. Lynn Lorenzo, yan ang kanyang expertise, mga data, mga yan, bigay kaagad siya.
Yes po.
Mahusay.
And makes
Erlinda,
sense.
Yeah. Naman niya, ang kanyang strength is, connections niya sa
Partnership.
media. Connections
Tama
niya
po.
sa, alam mo, nung umpisa, ko yan talagang nagtutunggali kami ni Carl, pero nung nakita ko yung niya, yung strength niya, when I was president, he came to me sabi niya, I want to work with you. Sabi niya gano'n, because I believe in your leadership. Kaya yan inopen ko yung doors ko sa kanya. At nakita ko, naku, ma'am, tayo, press release, press conference tayo ngayon. Ito yung mga points, blah, blah, blah.
Because you shared the same, yes po, and you shared the same fight and advocacy for your, kabaro po natin.
Exactly.
Dr. Caster, for my last question po, I remember I read your editorial sa PGN. It was titled, correct me if I'm wrong, The Image of Nurses. What is the image of a nurse? Parang ganyan. And then, this time po that we're talking and I'm interviewing you, and of course, this material would be seen by, of course, my fellow Master of Arts in Nursing students at UPOU. Ano na po ba ang image ng nurse ngayon? At bilang nurse leaders, kami po nasusunod. Yung yapak, sana po mapantayan man lang namin yung mga nagagawa nyo po at gagawin nyo pa. What's your challenge to us? And kindly inspire us to lead. As you have mentioned several times, we need to lead. And really, inspire us to lead, Dr. Caster. Ano po ang mensahe natin sa mga susunod na leaders po?
Okay, how do I say this ba? Yung pagiging selfless. Kasi alam mo, nakikita ko kasi sa yung mga budding nurses, napaka-competitive nila. Parang they want to get there agad-agad. Na hindi pa hinog. Gusto nilang mahinog kaagad. Parang ganyan. Experience is still the best. Hindi mo matatawaran ang magagawa ng experience. Kahit yung pagmamasters, pag-PhD, masters, 2 years on the ground bago ka mag-masters. Hindi yung tapos mong
bachelor's,
masters ka agad. Ano yung master mo? Hindi mo pa nga alam yung Parang get that experience. Alam mo, bago ako nag-masters, I was in public health for 5-6 years. Nung nandun na ako, nag-masters, gusto ko maning-mani. Kasi the practice is, you're putting practice and theory together. So, yun lang ang sinasabi ko na, saan ka huhugot ng ipapalaman mo sa teorya kung isa
or i-share mo sa klase. Tama po.
Yeah, exactly. Parang ganun. But anyway, tapos PhD, diretso na naman sa PhD. Kaya you have nurses who are how old? 20, 25, 26, PhD na. Parang, tapos, sorry to say, but I think it's not the right way. Yung parang, if lalong-lalo na kung sa Pilipinas ka ng PhD, tapos 25, 26, 27 PhD ka na, there's something wrong with your PhD program sa tingin ko. Kasi theory building
takes time.
You don't get a PhD in 2 years. You don't get a PhD, even in less than 3 years. Kasi talagang kung theory building ka na talaga, 4-5 years ang PhD mo. Kasi mag-ano ka dyan on the ground. But anyway, that's what I want to, the point I want to drive at is, be a relevant nurse. Be a relevant nurse leaders. Pag sinabi kong relevant, tumutugon ka sa pangangailangan ng ating bansa, tumutugon ka sa pangangailangan ng ating profesyon, at hindi lang sa sarili mo. Hindi ko alam ngayon kung anong nangyari sa mga ibang nurses natin na pansarili lang yung tinitignan. Yung parang, I have to have this. And then they want to go up the ladder so quickly. And that frustrates me. Kasi, wait, ano yan? Take your time. And, well, of course, hindi ko naman sinasabing na kung kaya mo naman talaga, din good din naman. But, allow the experience to, ripen you, to own you. Yung parang ganon. So that when you get there, it's, it's the perfect time. It's the right time. So yun, yung pagiging selfless in the sense na talagang inuuna mong tingnan yung kapakanan ng profesyon, kapakanan ng ating bansa, parang gano'n. Tapos yung syempre yung pagiging selfless comes with it commitment kasi so yung pagiging committed mo doon sa profesyon, magkasama na yan sabi nga gano'n, yung pagbibigay mo ng service is a commitment. And we need to imbibe that value of being committed to serving, and to what you have professed, to care for the sick, to care for whoever gets into our hands, yung parang ganyan. And ano pa ba yung kasi yung the image of the nurse then is parang passive, timid, subservient,
assistant, ganyan po. Opo.
Syempre ang gusto namin sa inyo is speak your mind out, you discuss. Pero syempre hindi ka makadiscuss kung hindi mo alam yung mga issues. Right. hindi ka makadiscuss kung wala kang framework. Actually, ang sabi nga ng iba sa akin is, bakit nakakapagsalita ka kaagad? Pag may tanong, kung may issue, you are able to answer immediately or you know what to say. Sabi ko, because I have a framework in my mind on how to answer things, on how I view things. And I think that is how we should be. Pag tinanong ka tungkol sa migration, ano yung framework mo sa migration? Siyempre, pag ang framework mo ay, yes, palabas natin lahat, hindi ka critical mag-isip. Ang sinasabi natin is, we need nurse leaders who are critical in their thinking. Critical. Hindi ko sinasabing hindi natin pinapayagan umalis ang mga nurses. No, that is not my point. My point is, nurses are just victims of circumstances. Many nurses would opt to stay if
given the appropriate, yes.
Given right condition. Ganun dapat tayo mag-isip Yung parang hindi ka agad-agad na ganito yung iba I think that kind of depth, ganong pagiging holistic, critical mag-isip, yun yung kailangan natin sa nurses natin. Yung critical mag-isip. Hindi naman sa bangga ka ng bangga sa government. Hindi naman. Kasi you need also to you need also to have a smooth working relationship with the government. Pero you have to push also you have to push yung mga advocacies din natin na naglalaban natin yung sweldo, yung kapakanan ng mga nurses, yung mga benefits, lahat ng mga ito dapat din pinapakinggan tayo, di ba? Ang kaso hindi na Siyempre, nauso pa nga ng rentagi magsalita ka,
leftist ka na.
Leftist ka na, mga ganyan. So, well, I'm sure may aligid dyan sa akin, pero wala pa naman akong I have not been silenced pa naman with what is happening, but I seem to be foreseeing that kind of if I continue to be this vocal about the situations, but so far so good with my membership with the technical evaluation panel ng CHED. I'm able to speak my mind out rin naman. So,
and of course your contribution, Dr. Castro, it's invaluable indeed.
I mean, not that I did it because for whatever I wanted to have awards or what. No, I don't think it was. It just at the right time. Even yung aking pagiging UP scientist rin during the time that I'm going to retire, hindi ko naasahan yung mga yun. Parang, wow, parang, I don't know how all this happened, but it did. So, ang ano ko lang doon is, I should not stop. I shouldn't stop doing things because I have retired, but I guess because there's still the expectation that I'm a nurse leader and I should continue leading in whatever capacity I can.
Yes, which made me really, of course, for having you in my task this tonight and today, for me to be able to learn from your wisdom, Dr. Castor. I wish I had more time, or we had more time.